Here is Immortal Moments for explanation. Friends, like videos and subscribes to our channel. Swallowed Star 2 Land of Origin Part 2 Explanation. So let's start our explanation. The earth was vast and wild, with exotic beasts roaring and birds chirping, waves of disturbances spreading out, containing various destructive powers. One could inadvertently lose their life if caught in the disturbances. Even true gods had to tread carefully in the wilderness, fearing they might provoke some terrifying exotic beasts. Swoosh! A wave of spatial disturbance swept across the sky, coming from Luo Feng, his servant Morosa, and Mo Yu. They traversed the void space, charging headlong toward Huyang City. There's an eternal true god. It's an eternal true god. From afar, the previously roaring exotic beasts were frightened into diving underwater, while large flocks of flying exotic beasts also kept their distance. Wherever the spatial disturbance passed, there was silence. No exotic beast dared to make a sound. All the exotic beasts have gone quiet. A team of true gods observed the distant wave of spatial disturbance with envy and admiration. To be so bold in the wilderness, it must be an eternal true god. If I could become an eternal true god in this lifetime. A team member reflected. Chan Muhe, you sure dare to dream. My wish is much smaller, just to be able to settle in Huyang City would satisfy me. Huyang City? That's a large city. Living there for one era requires a piece of primal chaos crystal. Can you afford that? The group of true gods exchanged a few words before continuing on their journey. Luo Feng and his party traversed at high speed. Is this the way an eternal true god travels? Mo Yu was thrilled by the experience. In the past, when I left the city, I was always careful, concealing all my presence. This type of unrestrained, exhilarating flight is truly satisfying. Luo Feng and Morosa observed the land of origin. Previously, their knowledge had been based on intelligence, but now they were seeing things for themselves. Towering billions of miles high rivers that stretched endlessly, deep and unfathomable lakes, and various kinds of magical exotic beasts. Both Luo Feng and Morosa found everything novel. The exotic beasts had keen senses. Sensing the disturbances from afar, they hid. They are indeed sharp. Luo Feng did not bother to hunt these weaker exotic beasts. Firstly, each beast had its unique talents, making them hard to capture. Secondly, the weaker exotic beasts were too low in value to bother with. Supreme Head is the lair of an eternal true god-level exotic beast. Mo Yu pointed toward the distant area. That beast is known as the horned serpent, which is proficient in burrowing. The armies of Huyang City have tried to encircle and capture it several times without success. Horned serpent? Luo Feng was intrigued. Exotic beasts at the eternal true god level were highly valuable. Having arrived at the land of origin penniless and not wanting to sell the rare treasures he carried, he naturally had to find a way to earn resources. Just maintain the true god of void space aura, and don't scare off the horned serpent, Luo Feng telepathically communicated. Yes, Master, Morosa, as a perfect divine body, maintained his disguise flawlessly. Ever since arriving at the land of origin, he had maintained the aura of the true god of void space. As a sector beast, discretion was mandatory upon his arrival at the land of origin. He just needed enough time and energy to eventually reach his pinnacle. However, Luo Feng needed sufficient trials to grow. Luo Feng, Morosa, and Mo Yu slowed down their flight, started concealing their aura fluctuations, and approached the area near the horned serpent's lair. .. Deep in the distant mountains, a tremendous golden eye glanced at Luo Feng and his companions. Instantly Luo Feng felt a colossal increase in spatial pressure, distorting space itself. Surrounding rocks and vegetation silently turned to dust. Luo Feng naturally used his divine power to resist this terrifying pressure, also protecting his companions. Eternal true god, what are you here for? The massive horned serpent looked toward Luo Feng from deep within the mountains, visibly wary, and transmitted its thoughts from afar. Phew! Luo Feng ignored it and headed even faster toward the mountain. Dare to follow me and see, transmitted the massive horned serpent, then vanished into thin air. Luo Feng stopped, sensing that the horned serpent's aura had burrowed deep into the earth and was still escaping deeper. Earth escape. Luo Feng frowned. The elements of time, space, and matter in the land of origin are incredibly stable. Even I find it troublesome to burrow through the earth. But that horned serpent vanished in an instant. It must possess a source of law related to the earth. Master, shall we continue to chase? Morosa asked. No use chasing. Luo Feng shook his head. He possessed the source of life and death, and Morosa specialized in the path of destruction. Both were more adept at direct combat, making them average in earth escape abilities. These exotic beasts really are incredible. Though they have low intelligence, they naturally possess a source of laws through their bloodlines. Even the top exotic beasts can attain godly king-level strength through their bloodlines alone. Luo Feng marveled internally. Master, that horned serpent really is cowardly, Morosa remarked. It is quite timid, Luo Feng laughed lightly, detecting it from afar and immediately escaping deep into the earth. Can't blame them, Luo Feng commented. These eternal true god-level exotic beasts rely on their bloodline talents for such strength, while myriad clans cultivators master secret techniques and use powerful weapons. They even comprehend the essence of laws. At the same level, eternal true god-level exotic beasts generally cannot defeat eternal true gods. Therefore, very few dare to confront an eternal true god head-on. But once they dare to confront directly, they are not ordinary eternal true god-level exotic beasts, Luo Feng added. Amongst eternal true god-level exotic beasts, occasionally there are some extremely powerful ones. In their same class, the exceptionally strong exotic beasts generally have more special bloodlines and higher value. Possibly one might be worth as much as a dozen or more ordinary ones. Luo Feng still anticipated encountering such exotic beasts. Hunting eternal true god-level exotic beasts truly is difficult, Luo Feng shook his head, not wanting to waste more time. Let's continue on our way. The places where eternal true god-level exotic beasts lived were typically suited to their bloodline talents, making them especially good at escaping. Sigh? Luo Feng and his two companions continued their journey toward Huyang City. Deep in the mountains, two teams of true gods of void space were locked in battle. We are Team B from 9 Banquet Tower of Huyang City. We are only here to collect ingredients. Please show some mercy, a rock creature pleaded, struggling to defend himself. His team originally had over 100 members. Now, only 3 true gods of void space remained, desperately holding their ground. They had not anticipated that a relatively safe task like gathering ingredients could be so dangerous. The 10 shadows encircling them were relentless, coordinating with each other, aiming to annihilate them swiftly. We have no grudges, yet you strike with such severity, we must drag one of you down with us if we die. Let's fight! The other 2 members of the true gods of void space had already gone mad. One of them unfolded golden wings, and a terrifying surge of power erupted. Your speed is too slow, a deep voice sounded. Though the 3 members of Team B from 9 Banquet Tower were initially frenzied, upon hearing this deep voice, they fell silent without uttering a sound. Their bodies naturally disintegrated, souls included, dying instantly. Only their weapons remained. Army Commander, it's our fault, the 10 grey shadows respectfully said. Continue. Kill all creatures that appear in this area, the deep voice ordered. Army Commander, the leading shadow couldn't help but speak, we are ordered to reach Huyang City by a set deadline. Today is the last day. Do your job, the deep voice responded. Yes. The leading shadow dared not speak further. The 10 shadows silently continued to guard the vast area, slaying any passing creature without exception. This vast area actually concealed a terrifying power that obscured its core region. Within the core region, a green plant was growing, topped with a crystalline blue-purple flower. The fragrance of the flower spread, causing the surrounding natural energy to become chaotic. Next to this plant, a black-robed figure sat, guarding it. I never expected that upon leaving Shi Kingdom and taking up my post in New Kingdom at Huyang City, I would encounter a mature, blue-purple blood crystal flower on the way. When this flower is immature, it appears ordinary and unremarkable. But once it blossoms, its fragrance affects the soul and becomes exceedingly conspicuous. It blooms for about 10 days until it naturally falls off, then it can be used in medicine, the black-robed figure said with fervent eyes. I heard that the blue-purple blood crystal flower can only be nurtured where a godly king has fought and bled. This flower alone is worth at least 100,000 cosmic sands. All the weapon treasures I have cultivated up to now add up to only about 20,000 cosmic sands, the black-robed figure said with passionate eyes. If any eternal true God discovers this, they would definitely fight me for it. Even after it's exposed, the forces from Huyang might come here to kill. Only a few days are left until it drops naturally, the black-robed figure patiently waited. He allowed no news of this place to leak out. Although he had done his best to conceal it, he feared any passing creature might notice, so he killed anyone who passed by. Suddenly, the black-robed figure slightly furrowed his brow and took out his transmission token. What's the matter? The black-robed figure asked. Hei Duomo, why haven't you arrived at Huyang yet? A voice as resolute as a mountain came through. According to the Marquis's order, today is the last day. You must reach Huyang City. There has been a delay, please forgive me, Chairman Zon Yun, the black-robed figure said lightly with a chuckle. There shouldn't be anything urgent in Huyang City that requires my immediate attention, right? Huyang City is, after all, Yu Kingdom's Huyang, and our branch in Sha Kingdom has always been short of eternal true gods. The resolute voice softened. I won't report your delay, but you should still reach Huyang as soon as possible. Rest assured, I will arrive within 10 days, the black-robed figure responded. Soon, the transmission ended. The black-robed figure smiled and put away the transmission token. The so-called military order didn't bind an eternal true God very tightly. They were already core members, and minor issues were typically not pursued too strictly. Right now, nothing is more important than this blue-purple blood crystal flower. The black-robed figure observed the fully blooming and fragrant blue-purple flower, his eyes filled with obsession. Luo Feng, accompanied by Morosa and Moyu Hu, was traversing the void, flying straight to Huyang City. Luo Feng suddenly looked toward a direction, seeing a distant range of mountains where a terrifying force was hidden, with a hint of blue-purple barely visible. Could there be a rare treasure? Luo Feng thought to himself. There are significant differences among eternal true gods. Their godly bodies vary in size, the purity of their divine power differs, the sources of law they master are distinct, and the secret techniques they practice and weapon secret treasures they possess all affect an eternal true god's strength. As someone with a perfect divine body, stronger than unlimited godly bodies, Luo Feng would reveal a vast and immense true form. Naturally, his sensory range was far beyond that of an ordinary eternal true god. His sensory range and sensitivity were astonishing. His perception and control of aura could even reach perfect levels. Even some ancient beings might need to utilize causality and space-time methods just to glimpse some truths about Luo Feng. There must be an eternal true God hidden there, masking the aura of the treasure. Luo Feng's eyes lit up. Heavenly treasures, born from the earth, belong to no one. He who is capable shall possess them. While thinking, Luo Feng tactfully received Moyu Hu into the Star Tower. Moyu Hu was somewhat startled before being put away. Morosa grinned goofily and looked toward the distance. Master, are you ready to make a move? Do you need my help? Even if he were to act, he would only unleash eternal true God techniques, preferring death over using any sector beast moves. If I need you to act, I'll let you know, Luo Feng eagerly replied, his bones infused with a love for battle, although he hadn't encountered any opponent since becoming an eternal true God. All right, Morosa said, a hint of disappointment in his voice. He too longed for a good battle. You stay here and watch, I'll go up and have a look, Luo Feng said, already flying over. Morosa stood in midair, watching the scene, and thought to himself, it has not been long since the master became an eternal true god, he hasn't had the chance to cultivate any powerful secret techniques. I hope this opponent is strong so that I can join the fight. Morosa itched to act. Even without using sector beast techniques, simply by understanding the path of destruction, Morosa had already devised many moves. Luo Feng noticed a flying boat carrying a true god team entering that area while he was flying closer. This flying boat carried a true god of void space along with more than 10 true gods, who were carefully steering the flying boat towards Huyang City, avoiding dangerous territories along the way. Suo Yun, the two of you will settle in Huyang City from now on, the disheveled-haired man instructed. Huyang City is a large city, teeming with true gods. Even a true god of void space is just an ordinary member. And you true gods are considered the lowest level. The two young men listened obediently. The disheveled-haired man, the clan leader of their tribe and the only true god of void space in the tribe, had lived in Huyang City for many long years. You must be low-key once in Huyang City. Those who show off their treasures will have their lives taken, the clan leader said. Be low-key, and keep it that way. Even though you are the most talented in the tribe, you are still too weak. Yes, the two young men replied. As long as ordinary true gods don't show off, no one will attack you. After all, Huyang City has laws and order, the clan leader said, but if you show off or boast, you'll silently lose your life. Even the Huyang guards won't be able to find out the murderer. Ha ha, clan leader, you've said these things many times, someone said. These two kids will definitely remember them well, another laughed. The rest of the team members laughed as well. The clan leader smiled and nodded. The first thing you do in Huyang City is to thoroughly check your own bloodline. Afterwards, find a secret technique suitable for yourselves. Huyang City has countless opportunities. As long as you seize them, you might become a true god of void space. Desire filled the eyes of Suo and Suo Yun. They were not content with a lifetime in the tribe, afraid of remaining mere true gods forever. They too aspired to become true gods of void space and experience more wonders. Don't worry, clan leader, we've firmly remembered how to survive in Huyang City, Suo Yun said. The clan leader nodded slightly, when suddenly his expression changed. Not good. The clan leader's aura surged instantaneously. He burned his godly body and marshaled all his divine power to control the flying boat, with layers of dazzling formations appearing on its surface. At that moment, 10 terrifying shadows appeared, and invisible forces connected as one, assaulting the flying boat simultaneously. Military formation? 10 true gods of void space. The clan leader knew it was bad news. He had lived in Huyang City before, his experiences there rich, but the death of beloved friends had made him weary of life in Huyang City. He left for the wilderness and settled in a small tribe. Over a long period, he naturally became the clan leader of the entire tribe and also attracted many weak true gods to join. After all, those living in the wilderness were generally very weak and impoverished true gods. Having a true god of void space as a support naturally formed a larger tribe. Boom! The 10 shadows collaborated in attacking, with the flying boat surface revealing layer upon layer of formations, coordinating seamlessly. Even if 1 or 2 formations were destroyed, new ones emerged. They are somewhat capable, the 10 shadows were surprised. They were all elite soldiers, the trusted aides of the army commander Hei Duomo. A single true god of void space able to briefly withstand their joint attack was very, very rare. Finish them quickly. We can't delay. They also feared angering the army commander. Having the army commander personally intervene meant that his aides were useless. Boom. 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 Each of the 10 shadows surged in aura. What? 10 military elites, all burning their godly bodies desperately? I was just passing by, the clan leader could hardly believe it. How could there be such enmity, to resort to burning their godly bodies in desperation from the outset? The clan leader glanced at his fellow tribespeople, sadness in his eyes. We can't escape this time, we're likely all going to die here, said the disheveled-haired man. The 10 or more true gods of the tribe were stunned. Suo and Suo Yun, the 2 young true gods, were especially dumbfounded. They had been full of anticipation for life in Huyang City, and now they were about to die? They had been born in the tribe and had never been to a big city. This is fate. We've seen what needed to be seen, experienced what needed to be experienced. It's a pity that Suo Yun and Suo are still so young, never having been to a big city. Most of the other true gods in the tribe were quite resigned. They were the tribal elite, having followed the clan leader to Huyang City for procurement many times, and were accustomed to the constant presence of life and death from frequently hunting exotic beasts. Is it finally my turn? The clan leader calmly awaited his fate, his eyes filled with reminiscence. The other true gods also gazed out of the flying boat, looking at the terrifying siege, each awaiting the arrival of death. Suddenly, "What is this?" "This?" The clan leader, Suo Zi, Suo Yun, and their fellow kin were all shocked as they looked out, only to see a dark-haired man with a pair of dark golden horns suddenly appear outside, his gaze profound. The moment he appeared, 10 shadows were so frightened that they immediately fled. "It's the eternal true God." The clan leader inside the flying boat reacted the quickest, immediately flying out to respectfully bow, "Greetings, Supreme." Luo Feng glanced at him, nodded slightly, then waved his hand to collect the entire flying boat along with the clan leader. He might have to confront that unfamiliar eternal true God, fearing that even a mere ripple from the battle might kill these weaker ones. Luo Feng did not want to involve the innocent, so he chose to secure them first. Luo Feng then looked up, gazing towards the distant source of powerful energy, where the 10 shadows had also fled. "I see you," Luo Feng said with a smile. The black-robed figure hiding in the distance gritted his teeth in frustration. Although he was powerful, and according to the levels of the bloodline cultivation method, he had even reached the eternal 8th realm, making him one of the strongest among the eternal true gods. But at the crucial moment of harvesting the blue-purple blood crystal flower, he did not want any accidents. Yet as much as he feared something, it happened. "This is my place of cultivation." A terrifying power released slightly, and a deep voice sounded, "Respected divine monarch passing by, please leave." In the land of origin, divine monarch was a term of respect. Place of cultivation? Luo Feng laughed. "How come I detect the aura of a rare heavenly treasure?" The terrifying power in the distance immediately revealed a black-robed figure. The black-robed figure's expression was extremely grim and annoyed. He had tried his best to conceal his presence, but the scent of the heavenly treasure was too mysterious. Achieving a perfect concealment usually required the power of a primal chaos overlord. The blossoming period of the blue-purple blood crystal flower lasts only 10 days, and within these 10 days, apart from me, there appears to be another eternal true God who has passed by and detected the aura of the treasure. The black-robed figure internally sighed. After showing himself, the black-robed figure looked towards Luo Feng from afar. Both parties' gazes collided. "Indeed, there is a rare heavenly treasure, but I discovered it first," the black-robed figure said. "Whoever dares to compete, I shall kill." He was gambling. Gambling that Luo Feng, unaware of the heavenly treasure, would not rashly risk a battle. What he did not know was that aside from a few crucial treasures, Luo Feng was essentially penniless, desperately in need of treasures to exchange for resources. Moreover, Luo Feng had been lonely in the primordial cosmos region for too long and was eager for a great battle. "I am very interested in trying." Luo Feng's eyes gleamed with the desire to fight. "You are forcing my hand," the black-robed figure sighed softly, and the surroundings instantly darkened a bit. The 10 trusted aides by his side silently disintegrated and died. At their deaths, each seemed somewhat incredulous. "You killed your subordinates?" Luo Feng was puzzled. "They should die the moment they learn of the heavenly treasure," the black-robed figure spoke calmly. "Originally, they could have lived a few more days until the matter was settled, but then you arrived. For an ordinary treasure, there was no need to kill his trusted aides. Hei Duomo was enough to withstand the scrutiny that comes with an ordinary treasure. But the blue-purple blood crystal flower was too precious. Once exposed, it would bring too much trouble, and Hei Duomo did not think he could withstand it. So Hei Duomo's plan was to kill all creatures approaching this area. Naturally, he had never planned to spare the 10 trusted aides who had been following him. "Tell me your name. As an eternal true God, you have earned the right to be remembered," the black-robed figure spoke. "Since I am going to die, there's no need to know too much," Luo Feng replied. The black-robed figure laughed in extreme anger. He was reluctant to make a move easily, because any eternal true God on the land of origin should not be underestimated. After all, anyone could produce a terrifying treasure with a flip of their hand. But that did not mean he lacked confidence. Hei Duomo, with the strength of the eternal 8th realm, was considered exceptionally strong among the eternal true gods. Otherwise, he would not have been assigned to oversee many matters in Huyang City. I am being cautious as an old hand, and yet this eternal true God does not know the immensity of heaven and earth. The black-robed figure's prepared secret technique was instantly unleashed. Luo Feng felt it. A certain unknown source of law was activated. A black-silver conical spike appeared out of nowhere. This black-silver spike was densely covered with secret patterns that circulated, terrifying in power. As soon as it appeared, it was already in front of Luo Feng, its speed distorting space and slightly altering the flow of time. Luo Feng's body was not large, but as a perfect divine body, he could change size at will. Though seeming small, it was actually immensely huge. Moreover, in his hometown small cosmos, divine power was continuously forming, connected to the true God's heart and continuously supplying, causing Luo Feng's godly body to continuously grow. This black-silver spike, about half the height of Luo Feng, struck him in the chest with a bang, like two towering mountains colliding at high speed. Even as a perfect divine body, Luo Feng was still knocked back by this spike, his step back causing the void to tremble. At the same time, one spike after another appeared out of thin air. As they appeared, these spikes had already reached in front of Luo Feng. Some spikes struck Luo Feng's head, some on his back, and some on his face. The spikes, attacking from all directions, bombarded Luo Feng. A total of 19 spikes. These 19 spikes coordinated with each other, their terrifying strikes flowing continuously like water, bringing destructive power that surged into Luo Feng's body, aiming to completely destroy his godly body. And each spike also transmitted a strange toxin, permeating Luo Feng's godly body, eroding his consciousness. Toxins of law? Luo Feng detected, his eyes flickering with excitement. Really interesting. It had been too long since he had encountered such an interesting opponent. This episode ends here.